Right, still tuned in to news and views of myself, Salailo Makwidiri, and we're going to be shifting gears now from politics and crime to food, heritage, and urban renewal. In the heart of Johannesburg's old mining district, one man is cooking up something far more than just meals. He's cooking up hope for the city's revival. Julian Ribeiro's a former advertising executive who swapped boardrooms for kitchens and launched Saudi's Bistro in Marshalltown. His ambition, well, to fuse his family and heritage, his part Lebanese, part South African, with the soul of inner city Johannesburg, offering more than just comfort food, but a sense of belonging, community, and rediscovery. And we're going to be speaking to Julian. But before we dive deeper, past the recipes and plates, we're going to explore what motivates him, what he hopes to do for the city, and where this culinary mission could signal real change for Joburg's core. I think we all want to see a brighter, cleaner Johannesburg, a place that we can frequent and feel safe and have all kinds of experiences. And Chef Julian is, on the path to be one of the people that are helping towards that mission and is joining us live. Chef, good morning. Thank you for giving us the time and welcome to Salam Media.
Salam alaikum. It's great to be here.
Great to be with you too, and I think we'll jump right into it. I just want to talk about the transition. You spent decades in advertising before choosing to retrain as a chef when you were in your 50s. What prompted such a dramatic career change so late in your life?
Food was always part of my life. Growing up in eThekwini, in Durban, in a suburb called Greyville. My grandmother had 8 children. My father was one of those 8 children. Her sister had 7 children. She lived down the road. So my life was filled with cousins, uncles, aunts, and many, many family members. And most importantly, lots and lots of food. So my Situ or Teta or Gogo, she was always cooking. And everyone felt welcome. You never had to phone ahead and say, I'm coming. People just arrived. And some of them, I didn't know who they were. They just arrived. So food was part of my upbringing, my heritage. I loved it. I could see that, yes, she's an amazing chef. She's an amazing cook. But actually, it was her way of expressing love for all her family and everyone who visited. And I loved helping her cook when I was a kid. Lebanese cuisine is quite time consuming. So I loved doing that with her. And then she would make this great feast at lunchtime and then say, "Oh, my Lord, what is for dinner?" And she would start asking about dinner. And my parents' home was exactly the same. My mother became a wonderful chef of Lebanese and Mzansi and Italian and Indian cuisine. And again, people were welcome in our home. And my home was the same. So while I had this career in advertising, food and family and love and the expression of sharing over a meal was always part of my life. And yeah, my friends used to say to me, "Wow, you are really good at this. You've got a real talent. You could become a chef." I said, "Yeah, but I'm working in advertising. I'm running the biggest ad agency in the country. I can't do this." And then I thought, well, I've had a great meal, as it were, in advertising. So let me end that. Like when you've had a delicious meal, you can only eat so much. You've enjoyed it. It's been wonderful, but you can only have so much. So I then said, okay, let me try something different in my life. My love of Josie was always there. It's my inherited city. I grew up in Durban and East London, but really fell in love with this place and her people. And my daughter's 21st was down the road here in Gandhi Square. People were like, "We're coming to Gandhi Square for your daughter's 21st." I said, "Yes, come." It's amazing. And I was always taking people to Braam and Maboneng and saying, come, it's so beautiful. We've got to help support all the businesses in our city and revive what is one of the great cities of the world. So
Mm,
that's why
mm,
I chose to open my bistro here. Not the most lucrative business decision. It's still finding its feet. You know, if I opened a restaurant in Fourth Avenue in Parkhurst or in Bryanston or in Rosebank or in Sandton, I'd be making a lot more money. But this is far more fulfilling. And
mm,
just serving the people of Marshalltown, humble, simple people working hard, trying to make a difference, and
mm.
see them loving our food and the great service they get from our team.
And I want to touch exactly on that. Your restaurant, Sadie's Bistro. From listening to you, it looks like it draws heavily on, as you mentioned, your grandmother's heritage and some of the family recipes that she shared with you guys. How important was it, for you to build a restaurant rooted in personal history, rather than just commercial success? As you mentioned that, it's a bit tough, it's a bit difficult. The location, according to some, is not that great, but you just had to do it.
It kind of came naturally. I realized that I have a passion for food and a passion for cooking for people, and I went, where did that come from? And that was my granny, and she was a huge part of my life, and I wanted to honor her. So it wasn't necessarily that strategic, but from my time in advertising and working with brands, I have learned that brands with purpose, brands that believe in something, people that believe in something, are far more sustainable than someone setting out to say, "Oh, I want to open a restaurant so I can make money." That like
Mm,
that was never my rationale, and I've seen too many businesses fail from that being their core reason for being. My core reason for being is to say, those my company name is the Wonder Years, and those times in my grandmother's home in Greyville, my parents' home in East London and Durban and Joburg were the Wonder Years, and I wanted to share that with other people. And we
mm,
literally set out as a team to say, let it feel like that. I said to my team, we don't have customers, we have guests. we're
mm,
a, we're a family. I don't have staff members. um, we're a family inviting people into our home, um, and we want to surprise and delight them. And I always say to my chefs, imagine the guest that you preparing the meal for is standing right next to you. You don't
mm,
know what they're going through at that moment. So do it with love and care and with passion. And people sense that. They go, wow, there's like a spirit here of I feel at home immediately when I walk in, and I sense it in my interactions with your people. I can see the chefs in the kitchen. We've got
mm.
a very open kitchen. They embody that, and I only wanted people to join our family who believed in that philosophy. And we all relate. You can relate when
Yeah.
someone comes to your home for a seven-color meal on a Sunday, your parents' home. I always say, what do we do? Oh, we clean the place. We make sure everyone's got their favorite uh, soft drink.
Mm,
Everyone's got their favorite meal. We prepare the meal with great love and care, and we serve it. People walk in, they feel at home, they feel welcome. So I said,
mm.
well, that's what we do here at Sadie's Bistro.
No, most definitely. And another aspect of it is, and you mentioned it, reviving Johannesburg's inner city. In literal terms, what does that mean to you? And obviously, running a restaurant in once declining part of the city also carries its own risk. What are some of those challenges that you have faced when it comes to launching and sustaining Sadie's Bistro, and how have you navigated them?
I I really did it in a very simple way. I said, this is my city. I love my city. I'm about to open a restaurant. Where do I want to do that? And and I said, okay. So my vision is to create a little gem for Josie, a little
Mm,
gem for the CBD. And I did that in isolation. I wasn't part of the community. I didn't know other people, business people in the area. Um, I did that with humility and in a very simple way. And I thought that if I could create one gem and someone else creates another gem, a bookstore, an art gallery, a clothing boutique, showing off their fashion talents, whatever it may be. If there's 6 or 8 gems in the CBD, then suddenly the whole place looks amazing. It looks
mm,
completely different and it's transformed. So I did that kind of on a wing and a prayer, I guess, with a little bit of love for Josie in my heart, knowing all the risks, knowing that it would be commercially challenging. And then along came Josie My Josie, this amazing organization that is putting a very sustained and long-term plan together to reimagine, to revitalize one of the greatest cities in the world. So that was luck. I didn't know it was coming. And people came into the restaurant and they're like, "What are you doing here?" And one of the drivers of Josie My Josie is the founder of Nando's,
mm,
Robbie Bros. And he walked into my best and he said, "Jules, what are you doing here?" And he, in my advertising career, one of my big lucky breaks was to get to work on the Nando's account. So I've known him for 30 years. So it's amazing how, his love for the city and my love for the city, when you put positive energy into the universe, something happens.
mm.
So Josie My Josie team, I'm sure you've covered it
Yeah.
in some detail on your show, on your station. They really are doing incredible work. It gives me goosebumps. I mean, it's really special and it's sustained and it's well thought through. When they look at early learning early learning development centers for children, when they look at the taxi industry, when they look at the homelessness challenge, they're doing it with great vision and in a very sustained and long term way. So the people of Josie can be very proud and very hopeful about what's coming in our city.
No, most definitely. Chef Julian Ribeiro, thank you so much for chatting to us. Before I let you go, where can people follow you? Where can people find you? Social media, contact details?
Yeah, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on TikTok. But more importantly, come and visit
Yeah.
69 Main Street. 69 Main Street, Monday to Friday, 6:30 to 3:30. We deliver, we do catering, we host lots of functions in the evenings and on weekends. We're not open to the public on weekends, but we have lots of parties, and we don't charge a venue hire, which I think is important. We want people to come and enjoy the space. And for those
No.
who really like to party, we don't have any neighbors, so the parties that we have can go until 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning with no issue.
There you go, Chef Julian Ribeiro, passionate chef and owner of Sadie's Bistro. Really appreciate the work that you're doing, and I hope we chat again soon. And I hope I get to visit. We'll see one of the days. Thank you so much.
Inshallah.
I mean. And with that, we're going to take a quick break. News and views will be continuing after this.